Every life tells a story, every story leaves a mark. Final Moments honors the legacies of those who shaped our world, the voices that guided us, the pioneers who broke barriers, the legends whose impact will never fade. Their final moments have come, but their influence lives on. Remember their stories, keep their legacies alive. If you find meaning in these tributes, consider subscribing to our channel for more. Number 1. Chris Mortensen. Today, we remember a legend, Chris Mortensen, a pioneer in sports journalism, a trusted voice in NFL reporting, and above all, a beloved colleague and friend. Mortensen passed away at the age of 72 on March 3rd, leaving behind a legacy that will forever be etched in the history of football and sports media. Born in Torrance, California in 1951, Mortensen's journey in journalism began at the South Bay Daily Breeze in 1969. From the start, his passion for storytelling and investigative reporting was evident. He earned accolades, including the prestigious George Polk Award in 1987, while covering the Atlanta Falcons and the NFL for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. In 1991, Mortensen joined ESPN, becoming the network's first NFL insider. For 32 years, he helped shape NFL coverage, delivering breaking news, insightful analysis, and in-depth storytelling. Whether on Sunday NFL Countdown, NFL Game Day, or SportsCenter, his reporting was second to none. In 2016, Mortensen faced his toughest opponent, throat cancer. Even during treatment, his commitment never wavered. He was the first to confirm Peyton Manning's retirement, a testament to his dedication. Last year, he retired to focus on his health, family, and faith. His impact, however, remains immeasurable. The NFL community mourns his loss. Peyton Manning called him the best in the business. Commissioner Roger Goodell praised his relentless spirit of truth and kindness. Colleagues like Adam Schefter described him as one of the greatest reporters in sports history and an even better man. Number 2. Selwyn Raab. As we turn the page from sports journalism, we enter the world of investigative reporting, where another giant has left us. A fearless journalist and investigative reporter, Selwyn Raab was born on June 26, 1934 in New York City, and he passed away on March 4, 2025. He dedicated his life to uncovering the truth, exposing corruption, and shining a light on the darkest hours of organized crime and wrongful convictions. For decades, Raab dissected the intricate world of the American Mafia, detailing its rise, decline, and persistence in his seminal work, Five Families. His research was rooted in exhaustive interviews, deep dives into legal documents, and first-hand accounts from law enforcement, prosecutors, and even former mobsters. His book remains one of the most comprehensive accounts of organized crime in the United States. Raab was relentless in his pursuit of justice, playing a key role in exonerating men like George Whitmore Jr., whose wrong conviction became a landmark case influencing Miranda rights. He used forensic analysis, trial transcripts, and interviews with witnesses to dismantle weak prosecution arguments to expose injustices. Joining the New York Times in 1974, Raab spent 26 years covering organized crime, government corruption, and miscarriages of justice. His storyline prowess extended beyond print, as his investigative work inspired the 1970s crime drama Kojak. Beyond crime reporting, Raab's meticulous approach to journalism made him a beacon of integrity. His commitment to accuracy and in-depth reporting set a standard for investigative journalism. His dedication earned him accolades, including an Emmy, a Haywood Broun Award, and a New York Press Club Award. Law enforcement agencies often reference his work, and legal scholars cited his investigations in discussions on organized crime legislation and judicial reforms. Selwyn Raab's legacy is one of unwavering determination and journalistic excellence. His work not only informed but also reformed, leaving an indelible mark on both the world of crime reporting and the pursuit of justice. Number 3. Robert G. Clark Jr. From crime and justice, we now move to a different kind of trailblazer, a man who broke political barriers in the fight for equality. In 1967, Mississippi was a place of deep racial division and social turmoil. The scars of segregation were fresh, and the fight for civil rights was still raging. But in the midst of this tension, one man dared to step into the halls of power: Robert G. Clark Jr., the first black legislator elected in Mississippi after the Civil Rights Movement. Robert G. Clark Jr. didn't just break barriers, he shattered them. A former educator with a master's degree in education, Clark saw firsthand the struggles of his people. After studying at Michigan State University, he returned home, determined to make a difference. When he was elected to the Mississippi House of Representatives, he was met with hostility. Many of his fellow lawmakers refused to sit with him, yet he stood firm. For 36 years, Clark worked tirelessly for all Mississippians. In 1977, he became the first black committee chairman. By 1992, he was elected Speaker pro tempore of the Mississippi House, making him the highest-ranking black man in Mississippi's government. Clark was a key force behind the 1982 Education Reform Act, which reshaped Mississippi's public schools. His leadership extended beyond party lines. He worked with Democrats, Republicans, and independents alike. On March 4, 2025, at the age of 96, Robert G. Clark Jr. passed away peacefully. In the very chamber where he once faced isolation, lawmakers honored him with a moment of silence. Jason White called him a true trailblazer and an enduring icon in Mississippi's history, and George Flax reflected on him as a gentleman of resilience, a man who stood tall as a giant among men. Number 4. Roy Ayers. Just as politics can shape a society, so too can music shape the soul, and few did it as beautifully as Roy Ayers. Some legends leave behind a sound so timeless, so full of life, that it continues to echo throughout generations. Today, we celebrate the extraordinary journey of Roy Ayers, a pioneer, a visionary, and the godfather of neo-soul. Born in Los Angeles in 1940, Ayers' destiny was sealed at just 5 years old when jazz great Lionel Hampton gifted him a pair of vibraphone mallets. Little did the world know that simple gesture would inspire a career that would change the landscape of music forever. By the 1970s, Ayers had fused jazz, funk, and soul into a sound uniquely his own. With albums like West Coast Vibes and Everybody Loves the Sunshine, he crafted a warmth and groove that felt like pure magic. This song, his timeless anthem, released in 1976, Everybody Loves the Sunshine became more than just a track, it became a feeling, an expression of joy, nostalgia, and endless summer days. Ayers' influence spread far beyond jazz. His music has been sampled over 100 times, shaping hip-hop, R&B, and neo-soul. He was a bridge between eras, his vibraphone melodies dancing through decades of music. Even in his later years, Ayers continued to tour, sharing his gift with the world, never losing the spark that made his music so uplifting. He once said, "I like that happy feeling all the time," and that feeling, he gave it to us all. On March 4th, 2025, the world lost a legend. At 84 years old, Roy Ayers passed away in New York City after a prolonged illness. His family shared the heartbreaking news, marking the end of an era, but not the end of his influence. Number 5. Sylvester Turner. As we remember a leader who shaped communities, we also honor a pioneer who shaped the sound of a generation. Sylvester Turner, a first-term U.S. congressman and former longtime mayor of Houston, passed away on March 5, 2025 at the age of 70. His death followed a medical emergency after attending President Donald Trump's address to Congress the previous evening. Born in 1954 in Houston's Acres Homes neighborhood, Turner rose from humble beginnings. The son of a commercial painter and a maid, he never forgot his roots. He graduated from Harvard Law School, became a successful attorney, and then devoted over 3 decades to public service. Turner's career in public service spanned over 3 decades. He served as Houston's mayor from 2016 to 2024, leading the city through significant challenges, including Hurricane Harvey in 2017. His decision-making during the storm, particularly regarding evacuation protocols, was both praised and critiqued, highlighting the complexities of managing a city of 6.5 million people during a crisis. Before his mayoral tenure, Turner spent 27 years in the Texas House of Representatives, where he chaired key committees, including the House Appropriations Committee and the Texas Legislative Black Caucus. He was instrumental in advancing policies on healthcare, education, and criminal justice reform. Even in the face of personal adversity, Turner remained steadfast. In 2022, he revealed he had been quietly battling bone cancer, yet he continued to serve, declaring himself cancer-free by the end of that year. Just hours before his passing, Turner posted a video on social media urging support for Medicaid. His final message, "Don't mess with Medicaid," encapsulated his lifelong dedication to protecting the most vulnerable. Mayor Whitmore said on screen, "A remarkable public servant who impacted millions of people. He rose from poverty but never forgot where he came from." Number 6. DJ Funk. From the halls of political leadership to the pulsating energy from the dance floor, we now celebrate a pioneer who defined an entire genre of music, DJ Funk. A pioneer, an innovator, and a true legend of Chicago's ghetto house scene. Today, we honor the life, the legacy, and the impact of Charles Chambers, better known to the world as DJ Funk. Born in Chicago in 1971, DJ Funk's journey into music began in the late 80s, spinning records at underground parties and shaping what would become known as ghetto music. He wasn't just an artist, he was a movement blending the raw energy of Miami bass, house, hip-hop, and footwork into a sound that made speakers shake and dance floors explode. His 1999 album, Booty House Anthems, became one of the best-selling ghetto house records of all time, pushing the genre to new heights and proving that Chicago's underground sound had global reach. With follow-ups in 2006 and 2013, his influence only grew, inspiring countless DJs and producers to embrace the high-energy, bass-driven sound he helped perfect. But beyond the music, he was a pillar of the community. His sets weren't just about beats, they were about unity, joy, and love for the culture. His passing at 54 after a brave battle with cancer leaves a void in the music world. But behind the music was a man who meant so much more to the community. His high-energy performances weren't just about beats, they were about unity, joy, and a shared love for the culture he helped build. His passing at the age of 54 after a brave battle with cancer has left a void in the music world. In his final days, his family launched a fundraiser for a tribute he truly deserved. The overwhelming support speaks to the lives he touched and the dance floors he set on fire. Number 7. Randy Brown. From the high-energy beats of ghetto house, we transition to the smooth, soulful melodies of a voice that brought warmth and love to the world. Today, we say goodbye to a smooth soul legend, Randy Brown. A voice that brought warmth, love, and deep Southern soul to the world has left us, but his music will forever remain. Born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee, Randy Brown was surrounded by the city's deep musical roots. He began his journey singing in church and found early success with the vocal group The Newcomers, signed to Stax Records. Their hit, Pin the Tail on the Donkey in 1971, gave a glimpse of the talent he would later fully showcase as a solo artist. In 1978, Brown gave us Welcome to My Room, an album filled with sultry ballads and unforgettable grooves. Songs like I Want to Make Love to You and I'd Rather Hurt Myself made him a favorite among R&B lovers, cementing his place to soul music history. His unique ability to blend smooth, heartfelt vocals with deep emotional storytelling set him apart from his peers. Throughout the late 70s and early 80s, Brown continued to deliver heartfelt, intimate music that spoke to love, longing, and life's deepest emotions. We Ought to Be Doing It became his biggest hit, proving his ability to craft songs that resonated with listeners. On March 5th, 2025, we lost a legend at the age of 72. While he may be gone, his music lives on, touching hearts just as it did decades ago.